loaded the game. It is taking a forever amount of time to load the last save. I'm hoping there's not an error here. I think the game has stalled or something. I've got 5% CPU use, which doesn't seem like something that's actually working to do things. So I'm going to restart the game. Okay, good music this time, which I think was missing last time. I'll skip streaming today, or potentially even change games, or possibly restart this one. I had a lot of fun recently playing some Phasmophobia until far too late. So I'm actually feeling pretty good this morning. But if this save is sort of lost and it only does an auto-save, you can't manually save in this game. So I don't believe I can manually save between different save slots. There is no backup to this save. So if it won't load it, I basically have to start over and do something else. I like the game set up well enough to play it again, but maybe not on stream if it's unreliable. And I have a number of other games that I have ideas for. I've been recently thinking about subverting the purpose of a game. The equivalent of being a whole bunch of survivors in Project Zomboid and trying to run a movie theater in the in a world full of zombies, because after all, they're still people if you have a bunch of survivors. But it would make for an interesting little puzzle to try to work through. Maybe that we'll have to see. Yeah, this is a very long time for this game to be loading. I don't recall that previously. There's also a chance I'll simplify my model and go back to having an animated model instead of the static image. I've been doing some stuff with modeling, so I can certainly make it more simply than I did last time. So, I'm waiting to see that OBS has swapped over correctly on my stream preview, and then we'll get on with some of the game. It may only be an hour today, it may be 2. I've pushed a lot of stuff to the afternoon to make time this morning, but we'll see. There we go. That took long enough. So, this is, if you haven't watched any earlier, I assume you would have. It doesn't make sense to not. But this is Cycle 14. So I think I mentioned last time, this is a game of managing resources with multiple timers working against you. And I believe day 14, or Cycle 14, we've now hit a bit of a crux point where our body is deteriorating. That is the fading up here. And the white bar underneath the 3 dice is our food. And we can manage the food every day without too much difficulty. But the body requires basically 100 credits, and we're at 84 right now. And I have a suspicion that it's only going to kind of get worse over time. Tech, fit up. Okay, so here, the Sidreal fit up for the, I think it's Horizon, no, Sidreal Horizon. That's a lot of cycles to get that working. And it's dangerous. Now we have a +1, but I think, yeah, we still have a 50-50 on that. We need the 6 to be able to guarantee it. I'm going to look at what other options we have. We also want to try to get to other parts of the station. Feng's Bay. Looks like we have another day before Feng has any information for us. We could also take the opportunity of that 6 to work in the bar. That might help out a little bit. And we have one more day before we owe somebody's bar tab, or he will just enslave us and take us away. If we don't get 84, we can't come over here to get the drug we need to keep the body maintained either. So it's cascading organ failure without that. And Lemon Mina, I want help over here. And he needs to count these up. He needs enough shifts to get onto one of the teams to be able to get off up here. I'm not going to sell a ship mind. I'm not going to export at least the first one of those. I certainly can't buy a ship mind. And it's 150 to get a chance across that gap. If we send, we go to the hub, where there's work to be done. A whole nother bit of work. This I think of as more the acclimating and planning to stay here, which means having to find some way to deal with that bounty hunter or mercenary. And we can't work until we've got the 100 cryo for that. Still keen-eyed up here. And it requires a 6. Let's try it. It's our only 6, but this stuff has been unlocking important things for us. Perk, transfer intercept. So we have some of the Yatagan gang information that we could potentially sell. That'll be handy. The only way up and down the hub, this is a bit of a design issue, I think. The only way up and down the hub is to leave the hacking part, descend to the rim, and then go back into the hacking. I forget who's been buying that gang information. Yeah, that's only the bridge. So getting off of this ship, that takes quite a while to do. Okay, they'll buy some data off of me, so I'm going to do that first. It's only worth 10 cryo, but it is something. Which is nice. Yeah, we're up to 109, so now we have a choice. Do we invest that in the business, hold on to it to pay a bar tab, use it for body restoration, or continue saving to get to the green zone? kind of a mess. Now bar shift is risky, which means if we don't have a 6, yeah, we've got a chance of negative. But if we get that back into this place, that means a lot, so... we want to help Lemon Mina too. So I'm going to start with that. Okay, so somehow we've restored all of our energy as if we were buying food, and we didn't have to. We had a positive outcome, so this is like a 3-shift thing to get this done. Let me do it again. If we can get them with a lot of progress, yeah, we might not be able to do a massive amount for ourselves, but we might be able to help them out. So we're basically done. We have upgrades available, but I don't think I'm going to be upgrading anything. Yeah, we only have 1 point. The next thing to do is the self-repair here, which means we need 1 more upgrade point. We can get energy recovery at home, but that's just food, basically. And that's 2 points to get to that. And getting food is far easier than this self-repair stuff to repair our condition. I like predictive reasoning. I don't really care too much about that, especially not the discount. Re-rolling your dice could be really handy, but it's going to take a long time to get up there. So I chose operator. Looks like this engineer might be the better place to start the game. And they're going to stay 1 more day. I'm buying some scrap. Because they're going to be gone soon. Not for that long, but still. Going to get any more scrap after this. But there we go, we're up to 3 scrap now. Won't be able to buy any more. Our condition is fading. I think I spent scrap up here. Yeah, to fix up this place. If we get lucky, maybe it'll do both. No, it'll do 1. Okay, so that should be done. It needs to be sealed. And it's risky, and we definitely don't have any actions for that, so we have to keep sleeping over at the scrappers for now. But we're full of energy, we're just having the low condition impact things, right? So let's end the cycle. This game started out fairly chill, but I feel the stress right now. Luckily, we should have at least 2 or 3 more days before we lose this 3rd die. So, we do have a little bit of time right now. With 2 6s. It's been more than a few cycles since Fang confronted Hardin. The silence sense has been noticeable. Your time with Fang, you haven't exactly found him to be reliable, but You'd expect to hear the end of whatever plan he put into action. I'm hoping he has not disappeared. But if he won't come to you, you think as you approach the Havenage building, then it's time for you to come to him. After all, he did promise to fix your tracker, and you're getting nervous. As you approach the bay doors, you see them wide open, light pouring out of the once dark room. Stacks of servers and terminals sit outside the bay, suddenly robbed of their mystery by the bright floodlights. A figure in Havenage security fatigue steps out of the bay as you get closer, carrying a stack of hardware. Okay, go ahead and approach. As you get closer, you see the security officer taping up machines from Feng's stash with what looks like hazard tape. This is not good. You again. Hardin is there, leaning beside the bay entrance so calmly you barely noticed him. He has a slate in his hand, an inventory of seizures scrawled across it. Predictable. Further evidence of Feng's collusions. You see another security officer come out of the bay and take notice of you. Hardin pushes away from the wall and comes closer. Don't worry, Sleeper. We have all the evidence we need. A confession won't be necessary. He gestures around at the stacks of hardware, spying on fellow Havenage members, hoarding Solheim materials, an obsession with corporate data. It speaks for itself, does it not? Yeah, I'm not going to say anything to that. Nothing to add? He looks up at the glass roof above and the stars beyond. We are the ones that provide the oxygen you are breathing, the light you are seeing, the systems you use every day to live out your cycles. Yeah, that's typical kind of gatekeeper landlord idea. This place was hard fought for, Sleeper. It took work, diplomacy, and strength to stop the Eye descending into chaos. After Solheim collapsed, not blind conviction or self-interest. Yeah, Feng is not selfish. I know all about the background of our mutual friend Sleeper. You don't worry about that. His parents would have been sickened by the damage he's trying to do to the institution they helped found. I don't know about that. You see, Sleeper, we are proud of our history here. Andre Erlinen, the first union, founded this place, and Havenage has welded his values into the station's very walls. We will never turn away the hard-working, the true citizens of the Eye. The true citizens. So there's citizens and true citizens. That speaks quite a bit to this guy. Havenage aren't a gang like Yatagan. We aren't pirates like half the spacers you'll meet in the hub, or esoterics like those hyper-radicals in the Greenway. We are the backbone of this place, proud and true. We named Erlin's Eye, Sleeper. This is our station. It's not everyone's station, it's their station. He meets your eye, so please take your false accusations elsewhere before I decide I need that confession after all. I didn't accuse anything. If you have any pride, you'll give up Feng the moment he contacts you. You know where to find me. With that, Hardin turns his back and walks back towards the security officers, ordering them to continue the clear out. As they do, something catches your eye among one of the server stacks, a crumpled hand-printed box of synthetic chewing gum, a penguin character grinning from the brightly colored card, and scrawled onto a speech bubble reading, "Take me to Tambor." You carefully pocket the box, making sure no one is watching, then turn away just as another stack of servers is wheeled out of the bay. What have you done, Feng? And where the hell is Tambor? I assume it's not Jeffrey Tambor. So this was a red countdown as opposed to what we see on many other things, a yellow, more neutral countdown. I didn't know what that meant, but it looks like it was a countdown to something bad happening. But we couldn't really get anything about Feng anyway, so I don't know. It's kind of confusing. We're also short on cryo, with 2 kind of guaranteed things we can do. I'm thinking let's go to the bar while we've got the chance of guaranteed on these riskies. We're making a bit of cryo while we do that. And 2 more points might be good enough to watch Mina. Let's see how that looks. It's a 50-50. But it's also safe, which means nothing bad should be that bad. And we got energy. which is also helpful, and he made 1 progress. I don't think there's much more we can ask for at that point. We're back up to 85. I think we're calling that a day. Even though we owe a bar tab. We might as well stop by tomorrow and see if we're going to be killed. Oh yeah, look at that. That's because of our deteriorating condition, like food is doing less for us as well. So we've got a 5 and a 6, both quite handy, and a 1 that's not very handy at all. And I thought this was counting it faster than this. I guess not. So we have 2 cycles to pay the tab of 58. I don't think we can use a 5 over here very well. Yeah, that's a 50-50. That's not good, but we do have the 100 we can use here. Guaranteed good outcome. Bonus of good service and 15 cryo puts us up to 103. So we can pay off his bar tab today. I don't know. We have no bonus here. We can sell components. I don't see that as especially handy though. It might be more lucrative to do this over here. Steal a shipment? No. Freight operator is safe. Yeah, it's still a 50-50. Okay. So let's go up. We're going to get Bliss started. Bliss can't do anything without some cash. Here's some cash. Obviously Bliss wants, you know, some help, but still. And look at it again. And what do we have? This is bidding on jobs. It'll take a few cycles. Okay, so we've got a counter. There's another yellow counter for 3 days. Still only have 1 point. Wait, did we? Transfer intercept. Oh, chance to grant cryo. Okay, so when it said we got cryo, that was from the transfer intercept. That was just a notice telling us. That wasn't that we gained the transfer intercept. We still have a 5 left and a 1. I'd like to do something that earns a little bit of cash, but I also want to help Lem and Mina get their stuff taken care of. So if this goes well, I think he's got enough for that. She's asleep, whispers Lem, creeping back out of the unit's tiny bedroom, sliding the door shut as he does. You're perched at a thin bar in the main room, the slate in front of you still glowing with Mina and your drawings from a cycle spent together. There's a ring, the only world Mina has known, with stick figures standing along its edge. The tall one is you. Drink? Asks Lem, producing a worn-looking bottle of Garol from under the bar, its contents glowing amber in the fluorescent light. Yeah, sure. Lem nods and clugs a few fingers into a couple of metal tumblers, then sits down with you at the bar. Cheers, he offers, and you clink the metal containers together. You know, we actually have something to celebrate this time around. He gives you a sideways look. I made the assembly team on the Sidreal. He grins broadly. Clearly, he's been desperate to tell you all cycle. Yeah, I knew it. Had to. He holds up his drink. You did get there first, friend. I'll give you that. He looks away. Seriously, though, you couldn't have done it without you keeping an eye... Sorry. I couldn't have done it without you keeping an eye on little meanie back there. Lem shifts a little on his stool. He looks uncomfortable. How's our girl doing sleep? She hasn't seen much... I haven't seen much of her these past days. Yeah, I think she misses her dad. He looks away. Yeah. The silence stretches out as Lem takes a drink, his eyes fixed on the bedroom door. He nods. I can't take all the credit for Mina. She isn't actually mine. He gazes into the middle distance. I pulled her off a refugee shuttle out by one of Ember's moons. The colony was falling apart for decades after Solheim collapsed, surviving on next to nothing. Eventually, some of the residents tried to make for the eye on these decrepit old shuttles. He sloshes the drink around in his tumbler. He had no idea what they were doing. The one Mina was on, decompressed halfway there, everyone spaced. The only reason she made it was someone sealed her in a weapon locker. She was ice cold when I reached her, purple lips. Once I picked her up, I wouldn't let go. The medics treated her with me, still clinging to her. He takes a drink, still not sure why. He reaches over and refills his cup. We weren't exactly anybody's heroes, you understand? We were private military, hired in by Conway to protect their claims in the collapse. Once I got Mina, that was it. I quit. Got us dumped here. The ones on the shuttle were dead when we arrived. Wasn't many cycles later when the colony fell too. I didn't dare take her to another grave. He looks around the decaying unit. It's stained plastic, plating, and flickering lights. At least that's how I justify it. He sniffs. Yeah, he's got to feel like he did that a little bit. She was tiny, too small to know what she lost, but I can't stop thinking about it. He rubs his eyes, dark with tiredness. What if our number doesn't come up in the draw, Sleeper? What then? The serial will sail off without a thought, leaving us here. What kind of life is that for her? Yeah, I know he'll make it. Sorry, I know you don't have it any better. He looks at his cup and pushes it away, down the bar. This is a celebration, right? Both of us on the team now, both of us in with a chance. Exactly, because I'm hoping I can give him my chance if I get a ticket. Imagine all three of us riding to Sidreal Horizon out there, to a new world. He looks into his glass for a moment. I think I drank this too fast. He laughs. Keep in mind that if we did leave with the Sidreal Horizon, we would be leaving with no way to repair ourselves and organ failure in a matter of days. So, we're not really going anywhere without resolving that. Lem stands and starts to clear the glasses into the auto wash. I need some sleep, friend. Yeah, me too. All right then. He catches your shoulder as you turn to leave. Thank you, Sleeper. I mean it, from both of us. He pats your shoulder. You slip out into the dark of the walkway with thoughts of little Mina in your mind. Did we just get an upgrade? Look at that. Use scrap components at home to repair condition. Let's buy it. We do this, we don't need the stabilizer anymore, I think. And let's, Midline Freight Hub, we're going to do the honest day of 1. It's a 50-50, but should be safe. Yeah, we got a negative outcome, and we still got 6 cryo. So that's something. Can we make a payment on this, or do we have to pay all of it at once? Looks like it has to be all paid at once. And let's see if we have any option here. Input 1 scrap for self-repair. We have 1 scrap. How effective is this? Oh my gosh, that was the worst possible case scenario, that we only get 1 piece back. That is a lot of scrap. Working on your own body is an unsettling but necessary act. You can feel the new components under your skin. So basically, I think we just fought off the 1 day, but scrap itself is also expensive. It's going to take more than that. If we get a vial of stabilizer though, maybe that gives us a nice big boost. And maybe we get a point from that. Yeah, we're starting the next day in the same place we started the previous day, so if we have enough scrap, we can theoretically keep ourselves going, but that's a lot of scrap. Wakey, wakey. Ethan is outside the moment you leave, leaning on the corridor wall. That's right. He pushes off from the wall, a little shaky on his feet. You made me come all the way up here. His hand comes to rest on the butt of his handgun, dangling from a chest holster. I thought we had a deal here. You pay my tab and I don't shoot you. Wasn't that it? Or am I misremembering? Yeah, I don't have the cryo. Well, says Ethan, the idea was that you get the cryo. Someone could be sitting on my stool right now. Think about that. I like it here. There we have music, we have drinks, we have darkness. He shades his eyes. All we have here is fluorescent lights and a bad smell. Ethan lazily draws his handgun from its holster and holds it out. Cryo. Whatever you have. Now. That's fine. Thank you. He stuffs the chits into his pocket without counting them. Was that so hard? You think this is on me? I think someone in your position might have a better idea of how all this works. Ethan holsters his gun and reaches into his coat pocket. He pulls out a hip flask and takes a swig. I'm a freelancer, sleeper, just like you. We both signed a contract with Essen ARP, didn't we? The difference is that my word means something. He closes the gap, stumbling a little. What did you think? You could just run away from your contract, your debt? You could just steal that natty little body of hers and take it for a joyride? Play human for a cycle or two? Yeah, I don't think he does understand. It's you, sleeper, that doesn't understand. Some of us pay our debts, but it's all the harder because of idiots like you. Oh, I should thank you. Taking another swing from his flask. For giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know? Real bounties. If I knew catching sad little escapee like we was so easy, I would have changed clients ages ago. Ethan drains the rest of his flask. Thing is, sleeper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. That body isn't yours and it will always betray you no matter what. So please go. I'll catch up with you whenever I need another drink. He laughs and walks off down the corridor. Give it up, sleeper, he shouts back down the corridor. Go find a job. You turn and set off in the opposite direction, head down. You walk hard and fast down the hallway, anger driving your footfalls into the metal of the rim like hammers. Drive failed. Means we don't get points for that, I guess. There's the compressor club. Ethan's back at the bar, still drinking. How much longer can this go on for? So we did manage to... we failed the drive, but that's basically a quest. Yeah. We're still surviving. And we saved some cash there, because we only lost 14 credits. So we have a guaranteed success, a fairly good chance, and a questionable. I think we need another shift at the bar. He said go get a job, but we actually do have a job. So good service again, another 15 cryo. Talk to Tala. The roll slides from the bottle into the lumpy recycled glass. A pale grassy yellow under the Outlook's warm lights. The spacer nods and takes the drink, bringing it up to their face in both hands like an offering bowl. This is the good stuff. The stuff Tala says is aged in wooden casks, stored in some closed-off part of the old station, among corroded wires and softly looping systems. Though sometimes it's hard to tell if Tala's joking. Either way, you like pouring this stuff. It gets on your fingers, and if you rub them together, you can smell the mossy drink, cut through with aniseed, mushrooms, wood, as the alcohol evaporates. Ah, so it tastes like licorice and mushrooms. That's kind of interesting. You like those who order it too. The aged Garol is kept beneath the bar, open to order only by those who know it's there, like the quiet spacer sitting at the bar right now. far enough away that you can freely watch them as you close the bottle and tuck it beneath the bar. You call them a spacer because they bear the hallmarks: pale, vac-suited, bird-boned, and hunched beneath the weight of the station's spin gravity. But the closer you look, the less you see a type. Pale eyes, almost gray but kind. Delicate fingers that lightly drum the bar as if it was an instrument. A shock of black hair almost covering a forehead scar. Scars are something you've learned to value. They're what marks you, your body, from hundreds, maybe thousands who know, of similar models that rolled out of SNRP's biolabs. You find yourself rubbing one on your forearm, a rough little split, something that, on the good days, you might think of as a mark of defiance. Suddenly you hear a heavy clunking at the door. It creaks open and a huge cylindrical metal tank tumbles through, slamming into the floor. Shit. Tala breezes in from behind it, a whirl of hair and bright eyes. Shit. She might need help. Sleeper. She ducks behind the bar and comes over. Can you help me with this? You look at the huge metal tank suspiciously. Yeah. You come around the bar and get to one side of the tank. Okay, on my count. 1, 2, 3. You both heave the tank up to standing, somehow. You hold it in place, struggling to keep it steady. Yeah, where is it going? In the back, comes a voice from behind the tank. Somehow you manage to lug the huge thing into the back room, where you place it in one corner, dwarfing the rest of the contents in the cramped space. As you do, you hear a crunch. You stand back and look at the expired rations oozing out from under the tank. Oh shit. Tala looks at you apologetically. I know you like those. It's okay. You push the crushed rations to one side. That's the end of that. Tala looks exhausted and rubs her shoulders. Francis, I swear to... Yes, he was supposed to be back from Etienne's up in the Greenway by now, back with our girl. She leans against the tank. Seems like he got lost again, or joined the Haifa commune. We need that girl. There's 4 other bars near here, and the spaces sure as hell don't come to the Overlook for the ambiance. She looks at the open door to check if anyone can hear her. She knocks on the hollow tank, so I'm taking matters into my own hands. Welcome, Sleeper, to the Overlord Distillery, or Overlook Distillery. You look around the dank back room. It does need some work. She picks at some paint flaking from the metal. Well, I might need some help, though. She shrugs. You up for it? She knocks on the tank again. Could be fun. Yeah, I'll definitely help. Okay, she grabs you by the shoulders. I'm excited. She turns around and looks at the tank. I reckon we chop this thing in half. 1 half for fermentation, the other we turn into a still. We'll also need to gather the ingredients. Which is what? Mushrooms? She turns back and looks at you. You look more like a chopper than a gatherer. So how about you build the still and tub while I work on the rest? Oh wait, Sleeper, I have an idea. Tala's grinning now and it's making you nervous. To make it for the rations, how about we put a kitchen in here too? Yeah, will it fit? We'll make it work. This is going to be great, she says to herself. You look at the dented tank in the bare room. Yeah, she's got a lot of imagination for that to work. Tala nudges you out of the back room and closes the door. As you go back to the bar, you hear the banging and thumping begin. The spacer finishes up their drink and nods in your direction as they leave. You can't quite tell if it's a gesture of sympathy or good luck. So much for a quiet shift. Bar shift. Build the still. It's considered risky, but I'm an engineer. This is probably still 50-50 though. Yeah, 50-50. A lot of pieces to that one. And yeah, we don't have anything there. Block maintenance with a +1. It's risky, but let's try it. Okay. We got some energy back. And we're seen as a low ender now. And we just revealed Castor, who's a data fence. You cross between two walls of units. One of the cavernous streets at the center of Low End. The pressurized bridge is full of the clack of Tavla, the shouts of children, the whir of air filters. Sleeper. You turn to see a man sitting at a Tavla table alone, somehow untouched by the hustle and bustle of the people around. He gestures to the stool on the opposite side of the table. Sit. You sit at the metal stool, and he starts setting out the board with counters, or at least the filter caps low-enders typically use in their place. Castor, he says by way of introduction, looking over his glasses. Night or day? He asks, gesturing at the caps, crudely sprayed, white and black. Yeah, night. He nods. The black counters are already on your side. Let's begin. You take a plastic die each, pitted and worn, and roll to determine who starts. He rolls a 6, you a 4. I lead, he says. He smiles and begins to move his first cap precisely along the board. Play passes back and forth between you, the dice changing hands as the caps spread along the board. As it does, Castor speaks, eyes not leaving the caps. It is unusual to see a sleeper on the eye. That's why I wanted to play you. You take a turn, rolling a 5 and a 6. I'm going to play aggressively. After all, a sleeper's mind must be somehow different to a human one. Being emulated, I mean. As Castor talks to you. As Castor talks, you target his counters, halting his progress, but exposing your caps as you do. I don't mean to offend you, Castor meets your eye. I merely see you are different. You are by definition different. What has been subtracted in the emulation? What has been added? He stacks a wall of counters, a boundary you must break. He hands you the dice. Do you ever think about this, Sleeper? About what you were before and what you are now? Yeah. Roll a double 1 and solidify your wall. Castor whistles. The holding game. Commendable. It can be brave to build from what came before. He rolls the dice and leaps your wall in a single move. But we cannot idle too long, Sleeper. The slower we move, the sooner we are caught. The past you is not just an idea, a concept for you. It's a living, breathing person. He looks up over his glasses, his eyes bright and wide. You split from them like a shadow splitting from its caster. They may be sleeping now, yes, but one day they will awake and carry on with their lives unaware of your fate, no matter what it may be. He hands you the dice, smiling. You are a branch severed from the main trunk, an offshoot who refuses to die, so to speak. You roll again, under pressure now, trying to slip your caps out from under Castor's before he solidifies control of the game. So what I am curious about is how you see yourself in all this. What does this tangle of truths make you? I'd say driven. Castor laughs. That much is obvious, Sleeper. I see it in your eyes. You're eager to make this count for something. Castor looks away, through the glass to the crowded units on all sides. But driven towards what? He starts removing caps, his home board now full. Is there an end here, or just endurance? You try a few more rolls, attempting to get back in the game, but Castor clears his home board with a sense of the inevitable. He's known he was winning for a while. I feel I may have pushed too far. He slides another cap from the board. I apologize. My curiosity has a habit of getting the better of me. You roll to return a cap to the board, but all the spaces are blocked. Castor claps his hand apologetically. You play well, really. Your weakness is not your game. He smiles warmly. We have much to learn from each other. He slides his glasses back up his nose and sits back. I feel we could share knowledge, ideas, perhaps even data. His eyes glint with the last word. To our mutual benefit. He slides his final cap from the board. It's over, and he's won. Please, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. He holds up his palms. My intention is only to help you endure here, and if I am able, feed my curiosities. The game over, you notice the bustle of the walkway once more. The call of the children, the deliveries, the arguments, reconciliations. They wash over you as you stand and leave. Castor nodding goodbye as you do. Crossing the walkway, you replay the moves of the game in your mind, looking for an opening you are sure was there. Yatacon Business and Havenage Protocols. I only have encrypted keys. neither of the others. So with the 2, can't do anything all that reliably. We don't have any more scrap or the cash to buy more scrap. We should be working to get some more cash. This is risky work. And yeah, I'm not going to give them any of the ship mine stuff. So let's, I guess, like low skill labor, let's work this. Freight operator. Low chances of success on anything like that. Got negative outcome, but +6 cryo. It's time to go back to a steel shipping container. Yeah, we have no scrap. I think ideally there's a job ready in the hub. We'll see. So we're back with 3, no 6s this time, and a 1. Definitely need to do something to repair now. Yeah, they're not back for another day. And let's ascend. We have another day for Bliss. And yeah, no updates on that, just another day for Bliss. I was hoping to sell some of those other encrypted pieces, but I guess not. Let's hand in the gum box. As you go to leave the Tambor tea house, a hand falls on your shoulder. Sleeper, Feng hisses from behind you. How did you find me? The penguin. Penguin, what are you? Oh, he thinks for a second. Oh, do you mean? And he mimes throwing gum in his mouth. Throwing gum in his mouth. That wasn't meant for you specifically, but look, it doesn't matter. Come, let's sit. Ben guides you down a set of stairs to one of the Tambor's lower levels. The tea house is stacked with curved mezzanines, all connected by a central atrium. The levels are filled with makeshift booths and bars, and conversation bounces busily off the metal walls. Feng sees you looking around. This place used to be a fuel tanker's main drum, hence the name. The tea house is a bit of a misnomer, though. You can get anything the eye offers from this place, but real tea isn't exactly readily available. He picks a booth. It's old-fashioned from some old salvage tank or container, lined with spongy insulation foam, and collapses into it. He looks around furtively. Don't suppose you've seen any Havenage types? They don't usually come out this far. Only you. Ha, not anymore, I'm afraid. Suspended without appeal. Turns out Hardin has someone's ear. He grins. Doesn't bother me, though. It shows we hit a nerve back there. He picks a scrappy hand-scrawled menu from the table and tosses it over. What are you drinking? Feng's right, the menu is ridiculous. There's at least 10 different infusions, most of which you can't make out, but the paper's dominated by an extensive complement of esoteric alcohols and cocktails. Black tea is listed without a price, as it's a seasonal specialty. So you ran into Hardin? Was he pissed? Feng doesn't wait for an answer. That snake is so self-righteous he might actually believe that Erlen would approve of his meritocratic bullshit. He taps on the table. If Hage Vintage was like it should be, like it was founded to be, they would have shouted him down at any council meeting he dared to mention true citizens. He sighs, but I guess his kind run the place now. A young woman with a vine tattoo snaking up her arm turns up at the booth, a slate in hand. Your order? You skim the menu, your eyes glazing over. Time to pick something. Yeah, let's go kelp infusion. She nods and notes it. And you? She begins, looking to Fang, but when she sees him, she suddenly stops. What the? Fang shrinks a little. You're supposed to be working. This is your shift. He grins sheepishly. And yeah, I'll stay out of it, just like I'm letting him take the lead on the conversation. Look, Jenna, let's just say this is my break. My friend here has been through a lot. Jenna looks between the two of you. Yeah, I'll give her a little wave. Fang doesn't look pleased. 2 minutes, says Jenna, pointing at Fang. And only because I don't want to get dragged into whatever this is. She gestures at the table and walks off. What? Fang stretches out in the booth. You know how it is. We all have to eat. Plus, this is the best place around here to find a person you might be looking for. Yeah, who? Remember that web of connections Hardin pinged the moment we confronted him? Those are his collaborators. If we want to understand what a Solheim executive might be getting up to on the Eye, those are the people we have to find. Fang's almost whispering now. There's a couple of them I suspect in the lowland, and almost everybody in the low end comes through this place at one time or another. He brings a modified slate out onto the table. I've set this up so when anyone with the network signature I'm looking for comes into close proximity, it'll mark them. Once they're marked, we can break through the access protocols, and get the good stuff inside. We just have to find them first, hence my moonlighting as a waiter. Suddenly a smile grows across his face. Wait, I have an idea. What? Look, I can't cover enough of the low end on my own, and so far I have no matches in this place. With two of us, we can cover more ground. Well, Fang has a hangdog look. We need to get out and about in the low end, in close proximity to as many people and residents as possible. It turns out my friend Ming Gi needs some help with deliveries. Yeah, delivery noodles? You already know him. Perfect. Fang places a tiny receiver on the table. This connects to my slate and runs the same marking protocol if you get near any of our targets. So all you have to do is take some delivery shifts for old Min G, and soon enough, we'll have this place covered. Okay. Don't give me that. You think I like working here? And I thought you could use the tips. We are in this together, right? Yeah, it's pretty much inevitable now. Okay then. Fang slips the slate back under his clothes. Just head on up to Mingi Express, take a delivery shift, and we'll see what shakes out. Manage to find anyone and extract any data, bring it down here to me. They have me on double shifts, so I shouldn't be hard to find. Jenna walks past carrying a tray of drinks and sharply catches Fang's eye. I don't think she's bringing your drink. He stands. I think it's time we called this meeting to a close. You grab the receiver from the table and slip it into a pocket. See you soon, sleeper. Stay safe, Fang adds, before turning and walking off towards the bar, whistling as he does. A new drive. So build a home, build a ship mine, disable your tracker. Get to know Emphis, both of those are stalled right now. Hack Hardin's network, maybe. Help Bliss compete, we're doing all we can on that right now. Improve the Overlook, yeah. Survive and win a Cypriel ticket. So we're doing almost all this right now. I think we still have another day on this, don't we? Maybe I'm wrong? Yeah, we still have another day on that. So let's deliver noodles instead of doing the other one. Yeah. He'll feed anyone who does a shift. And it's safe. We gain cryo and energy. That's good. The tips are small, but welcome. And we make progress towards Fang's targets. This is risky, but I don't think it changes much. We kind of have to do this one. even if we aren't really earning anything on it. Okay, so that's pretty much everything we can do. He's not coming back looking for us just yet. We got a couple days, I think. And the overlook bar is only build the still or take a shift. There's no longer any expired food to be had there. And we can't buy a drink now either, can we? No, we can't buy a drink either. Over here is just paying his tab. $15 cryo for fungus. I don't think we've got a lot of other places where we can get food from. Yeah, I think it's just Memphis now. Okay, we're fully full of energy. We should have at least one more day. It's time to start a new day. We really need that stabilizer if we want to get some more dice to use. Hey, says a quiet voice. A quiet voice greets you as you leave. Sleeper, it's me. This is Bliss's assistant. Moritz, he pauses. Work for Bliss? He rubs the back of his head. You are not an easy person to find. Yeah, I don't really have an address. No judgment, it's cool. We both stand there for a moment, each waiting for the other to speak. What's up? Yeah, anyway, Bliss needs you. A job just came in, a real big one. She's asking for you to come up and help her out. Okay, I'll be right there. Yeah, nice. He stands there for a little while, unsure if the message is delivered. I've got it. Cool, cool, cool. He looks around. Bliss just likes me to do a thorough job, you know? He rubs his hand together before burying them in his jacket pockets. See you, Sleeper. Moritz ambles off down the corridor, kicking at a filter cap on his way out. Time to head to Bliss's Bay, then. We have a 5 and a 6, so we are officially now less than the full 3. Let's see what we can do. Because this is definitely not good right now. Malfunctioning fuel tanker. Interesting. Bliss has an idea. A full system flush with tracer fluid to reveal the leaks, which means an emergency venting of all tanks. Brilliant and dangerous. Which will let us seal the leaks. Tanker screw detected a set of leaks, and they need to isolate and seal them as soon as possible. Or tank recladding. Typically the way to finish this kind of leak is to painstakingly inspect and reseal the entire ship's cladding. But is there time? Somehow Bliss has swung a tanker contract, but the catch is the work needs to be turned around fast. So we can try to seal the leaks, but that's 8. Or we can do the risky but not dangerous. Oh wait, no. Tank recladding goes to the same thing. So cycle clock, we have 3 days to do it. That turns into a 6. And we apparently can't do it again. but it took us halfway there. Then we have a 6. Which is good for a 1. And there's literally nothing else we can do for the day. But we do have a timer on that one. She's still asking for 100 over here. Still asking for 100, and we definitely don't have it. Okay, so we're going to get some food. And hope for some good dice tomorrow, because there's not much else we can do right now. Yeah, 15, but cryo is 20 for scrap. Really wonder about these encrypted keys. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing with those. And if you notice, some of these jobs are like 6 cryo for a bad day, 15 for a good one. So getting 100 is just really, really difficult right now. We have 2 more actions, a 5 and a 6, which is kind of lucky here. We also need food. Let's see what we can do on this. This becomes a 6. No, that becomes a 4. Okay, so that's a 50-50. We get 1 more on ceiling leaks. We need 2 more to finish it. But ideally, we're getting paid if we do. Oh, we got lucky on that one, I guess. You both wait in the airlock for it to cycle back to the bay. Bliss thumps you on the arm. Nicely done, Sleeper. Cleared that contract, no problem. She stretches. Once we're back in the bay, we can check if the payment has come through and divide it up. She stretches. Feels good. The airlock clunks and lights flicker, and a moment later you're back in the bay where Moritz is at the racks, trying to figure out where the mess of tools Bliss left in her wake should be hung. Moritz looks over his shoulder. Sleeper? He spins a wrench in his hand. Looked like clean work out there. He nods respectively. You look over at Bliss, who's already gliding over to her management console. She twirls a little as she crosses the cavernous bay. No one you've ever met moves as well in zero-G as she does. It's like she's born into it. Shit. Bliss slams a fist onto the console. Shit. What's up? I can't even. Come here. She calls you over. Look at this, just look. She spins the terminal bay and you see the details for the bay's account. You see an entry for Ember's Wake, a repair fee paid in full the moment you finished up the job, but then directly after, the whole amount was transferred back out into an unknown account. This is the work of my ex. She punches the terminal. He must have coded a backdoor into the machine before he left. She rubs her forehead. There's no way we can. Moritz, throw me that wrench. You're gonna fix it? Moritz spins the wrench across the bay. Bliss smiles. Something like that. Bliss brings the wrench down on the terminal hard. That didn't fix anything. Now you're just -1 terminal. You flinch backwards as a hail of computer parts spill out into the bay in a glittering arc. Fragments of screen, memory, sections of casing. When Bliss is done, she clips the wrench to her tool belt. Try backdooring your way into that, you shit. Moritz drifts out his hiding place among the racks. Bliss, he says tentatively, you want me to... He looks at the arc of fragments drifting around the bay. Bliss shakes her head. No, I've got it. You go get me a new terminal, cheapest you can find. Cobble one together from pieces at the Ort Exchange if you have to. Can I help? Bliss glides over to a panel by the wall. Don't worry, one of the first things I had installed when we spec'd this place was a cleaning sweep. She flicks over a plastic cover on a huge red button. Watch yourself. She hammers the button and a row of laser emitters unfold from the bay wall. They start crawling their way across the work area, frying the debris as they do, in pulses of burning light. Bliss smiles. It's that or just space the whole bay every few cycles. Are you okay? Not really. She stares at the sweep panel. Just don't seem to be able to extricate myself from the shit, no matter how hard I try. The cleaning sweep buzzes and crackles as it works its way across the bay. That account wasn't everything. I'm not that stupid. Once Moritz gets back, I'll secure it and flush everything else. She flicks a nearby piece of debris into the path of the sweep. Clean break. Then we take another contract. That's it. She sets off the sweep as it reaches the near end of the bay. Hey, you don't want the cryo back? Oh, I want it, but it's gone. You could have transferred it anywhere. She looks across the hub, and even if I knew where he was, the last thing I want to do is ever see him again. She rubs her forehead. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I know you worked for this too, but next time won't be the same. She smiles. See you in a few cycles. Moritz will let you know. She winks and kicks off into the bay to finish cleaning up. So, we don't need another 100, but we also don't get anything from the work. So we have no actions left, no food, and we are declining. We have 15 credits. We can afford mushroom, but I think we're going to lose 3 energy from the state we're in right now. So we pretty much have to spend 15 cryo we have left on that. So fully eating, but still falling into crap. So we have 2 actions. We are not lucky today. They are not good actions available. We're going to have to do some risky noodles for one. What's up with Ethan? The compressor is quiet today. The usual crowds are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spacers and a few drunks. Ethan is still in the same stool, in the same pool of light. His head is low, close to the bar, and the bartender is ignoring him. As you get closer, he lifts his head and turns. Sleeper? He turns to look at you. Time to pay up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here and take their chits. The bartender ignores Ethan. It seems they've cut him off. Hey! He slams a hand on the bar. Come take the chits. The bartender ignores him. Ethan lets out a huge sigh, rubbing his eyes with his palms. He reaches towards his holster. His elbow slips and the gun tumbles out. It clatters onto the bar and falls on the floor, bouncing on the ground between you. Both you and the bartender look at the gun, stare at it. Butterfingers, says Ethan. Puts out a hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun back, if you would. The bartender looks at you warily. You crouch and pick up the gun. You slap the handle of the gun back in Ethan's hand. Thank you, he hisses. Now where was I? He lazily swings the gun past you and the bartender. Yes, leaving, he says. Sleeper, while this has been fun, I think I've wrung every last drop out of this place. Time to go home. He waggles the gun towards the door. Let's go see Essenarp. Ethan brings his gun hand to his face and rubs his eye. Well, bounty pays half, but up to you. And he pulls the trigger. Gun clicks. By now, all the attention in the bar is on you and Ethan, who looks at his gun with an bemused expression. The bartender raises an open hand, and in it are 10 shiny bullets. 10 shiny bullets he took out of Ethan's gun while he was asleep on the bar. Ethan smiles at him. "Oh well," he says, and hits you in the head with the butt of the gun. You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby, the gun clatters onto a surface. It hits a glancing blow, but it makes your vision swim. Through the blur, you see Ethan wrestle a small, thin slate from his belt and hold it up. "Enough of this. I'm logging the job and calling it in." Ethan taps the slate. "No more playing." Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting, a dull echo to your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. Crouches down and grabs you by the chin, his face close, his breath heavy with drink. "S and ARP just screwed me." He grins maniacally. "They canceled the contract." He stands up. "They canceled the contract." He shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet, the sting of the hit fading. Ethan's rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a clicking sound like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. He stumbles back towards the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. "I'll kill all of you," he screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away towards the door. "I'll be back for that," he shouts at the bartender and lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out into the lights of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. So that's something that happened. I don't know if it actually makes it any better or not, given we had no caps anyway. This is risky, but ideally it will pay a little. Up to 18 cryo, which is not enough for food. And not enough for some scrap. We do a quick search for encrypted key. So it's used to open a sealed dock. You should only need 6 or 7 total keys throughout the entire game. Okay, so they're just plot items. There's no real cash value on those. So we have 18 credits and 2 ship mine fragments that could be reassembled with the right tools and a few more fragments. So I think this is basically the slow death of our character now. We're going to be down to either 2 or 1 actions. Let's get some work done at the Overlook. That's something we can do. Then we'll do 1 shift over here at the noodle place, but not doing the deliveries. So that'll take care of a little bit of food, ideally. Go for another day. Or do we repair one? 20 is a very small repair though, if we only get 1 per. Let's end the cycle. Okay, we're down to 1 action now. So what have we got? We've got work that hasn't shown up yet. We try to steal an item, but I don't like that. Caster's table I don't think is gonna, yeah. Nothing there. Derelict unit, does it only need, no, it needs stuff. And we're to -1 on that one. Tea House is just a place to sell some information. That pushes forward his stuff. So I guess if we come over here, we can make some more progress for her at the bar. Help steady up her livelihood a bit. Before we fall apart and die. So there's nothing else to do at this point. This isn't going to be our last day, I think, but we are going to be starving again. Sleeper, how have you been? Yeah, that's the struggle. He glances around. Runs his hand through his hair. Meaning to ask you, Sleeper, what's it like? He pauses. I mean, you know, what does it feel like to be a sleeper? Yeah, I'm getting used to it. That's good, he pauses. Really good. I wanted to say I have a lot of sympathy for it too. Having to find a place, having to survive, having no future. He looks down. A lot of people here, they understand that. Moritz looks away and you notice for the first time, not just as Bliss's assistant, but as someone with their own worries, their own struggles, their own life. You feel bad for not noticing earlier. I noticed. I guess Sleeper didn't. He looks back at you. Anyway, got a message for you. Bliss sent me down. We've scored another contract and she needs your help. That's the message. He pauses. Look, I know like last time payment didn't come through, but you did good work. Bliss knows that. Yeah, it's no problem. Okay then, he pauses. She's doing her best, you know. I know. He nods. See you up there. Moritz turns and strides off, leaving you in the corridor. Time to help Bliss, and maybe this time you think to yourself it'll work out. So let's see what's going on over here. Saving the crop. Where's the description? Okay, the sycamore seed's internal biome is in trouble. Every action will bring it closer to collapse. Saving the crop. The sycamore seed needs to be reinforced and sealed, otherwise the crop will be lost. Welding in zero-G farm is tricky. The torch, the heat, the sealant, everything can damage the crop you're trying to save. Ventisection, you have a better chance of saving the remaining crops, but you will lose some in the process. The question is how many. So this is saving the crop, and this is the number of actions we've taken. So it's minimizing the actions to maximize saving. And I don't think venting is going to do much towards that. So yeah, 1 red tick and 2 yellow. So as long as we only use positive actions on that, I don't see any other time limit. For the options at the lounge. Buy a meal. Yeah, nothing else to really do there. We have no upgrade points. Nothing to sell. No actions. So we're going to starve to death and see what happens. Our condition is now below 1 full unit. We have no energy remaining for the end of the day. So it's entirely possible this is our last action. Good morning, Tomb Rain. Hope you're enjoying yourself and having a good day. So we are still starving. We have 1 action, but we're now on the last box of condition. So we got 1 extra day, I guess. That's something. Although that 1 extra day is literally just 1 extra action. What's the exchange? It's Intuit. Emphas willing to give me a freebie? Nope, not how the game is designed. So we can get food here, but probably die the next day. Do we noodle manufacture? Or we can go do Fenn's targets and see if we can finish up Fang's thing for him. I'm actively choosing to die, basically, to give Feng that last bit of progress. Sleeper, you see Feng coming up the corridor as you step out of Mingji's. The kelp noodle smell still clinging to your clothes. He comes up fast and stops close, looking around suspiciously. I don't have long, take these. He palms you some metal thumb-sized drives, ripper worms. My slate's been buzzing like crazy. It seems your delivery shifts has turned up 2 targets. He squeezes your shoulder. I knew you could do it. Now we nailed those snakes. Okay. Good to hear. Hardin's boys are connected by some kind of closed network. You break the access protocols on both of them, you should be able to gain the location of the nearest network ports. Slot the ripper worms in those ports, 1 each, and they'll feed me anything and everything stored on Hardin's shadow network. He smiles. Can't wait to see what juicy plans they have in there. You hear the scuff of boots as a group comes up the corridor, likely on their way to place an order with Mingji. You turn for a second, and when you look back, Feng is already halfway down the corridor in the opposite direction. He raises a hand in farewell and is gone. You run your fingers over the tiny ripper worm drives in your pockets and smile to yourself as you wonder how mad Jenna will be at Feng for this little excursion. Time to slot some worms. So I wonder where that's supposed to be and how to do that. here. Harden agent. That's interesting. Let's delete this. No. I guess we need to have actions to be able to do that. I thought we would just be using the items. If there's two of them, then yeah. How are we supposed to be using the ripper worms though? I don't know. Well, in any case, this is probably the end of the game right here for us, so let's see. End cycle. We're dying and starving. And I have a feeling that the game is driving us to this point really hard. Breakdown. Interface skill broken. Tutorial breakdown. Your condition has reached 0 and you have suffered a breakdown. One of your skills is broken. It will be locked to -1 and all perks disabled. It can be fixed with 1 upgrade point. After you rest, your body will recover some condition, but your skill will remain broken until it's fixed with an upgrade point. That's not really a fix, is it? Attempting recovery. Starving. I guess we could use things here. I guess we have to buy some mushrooms. Because if you got to this point, I honestly don't know how you would not be at this point otherwise. Wait, what is that? What's going on at the compressor? Oh. He's gonna find us again at the end of some kind of a countdown. I wonder where that scrap came from. Maybe it's our breakdown? Okay, so we're back to fading. And it's our interface that's broken. With 19 credits left. But we're back up to 3 actions. So we can fix up the kitchen. Or we can also try to plant these tracers. A 4 or a 6 we don't have. We have a 5. And the other one is a 5 or a 3. I would use up to 3. Port is unlocked. Does that create a location where I can use these worms? Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, I'm very confused about this. So just to tread water right now, we need 15 for food and 20 for scrap per day. Anything have a 1 on it? That's a 1. But we could also spend that 1 doing noodles. Let's do that. You at least get some energy out of that. Then up here, we work on this ship a little bit. Because this 5 becomes a 6. Another 1 tick versus 2 on the success side. I don't think we could really ask for much more than that. And we are going to ask the game to disable another attribute soon. It seems like a game that's a little bit easier if you know the different paths, but it is working very hard to make this difficult. Okay, we got 3. And Ethan is showing it faster than I thought. Got 1 more day, I guess. So we're going to keep trying to help her fix this thing up, so she can kind of put her life back together again. 100% positive. 100% positive. And I think the best we have otherwise is manufacture some noodles so we can eat. Because if we only lose 1 day, 1 point of condition, we're actually doing okay right now. We got 1 energy. Okay, so we're going to be starving again tomorrow, I guess, but we don't have a lot of options. But I also don't think there's a single decision so far that I would regret. There's things I could do differently, but nothing I regret so far, so it's fine. So we're back to starving, but we have 3 actions. And Ethan's back today. Miss me? No. You look at him, he's paler than usual, hunched. He has a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth. Snowy to root and old friend? Yeah, friend? Well, he pauses. Colleague? Yeah, colleague. This is big, really big stuff about you. He seems more jittery than usual, on edge. You remember how S and ARP canceled the contract on you? The contract I was going to collect. Yeah. Well, I'm guessing you were pretty happy about that shit. Overjoyed. Me? I lost everything, but let's not worry about that. He smiles sarcastically. And so what did you think that was it? Yeah, let's just not say anything. He's having fun talking. Well, it was, except Ethan leaves a dramatic pause. What if old S and ARP gave the bounty to someone else, someone who is even more of a shithead than yours truly? He smiles darkly. What a disaster it would be. Yeah, who? That's the question, isn't it? Ethan fishes around in his pocket for a slip of paper. I've been speaking to some friends, you see, some colleagues about what went down. It turns out S and ARP canceled all their bounty contracts. The whole lot. It seems they've brought someone in-house. Some guy who did so well on their last contract they got offered a job. He leans in. A Apparently, he made a hit on the ship called a Winter Wonderland or something. It was smuggling sleepers out from under S&R's big corporate nose. He killed the crew and blew the ship, Ethan whistles. They called him Hemwick or Maywick or something. He gives up looking for the paper. I forget. You mean Winterlight? Yeah, I already looked at the Winterlight. That's it. He looks at you hard. So you do know about all this. He pats you on the shoulder. Then you'll be very happy to hear that what I'm about to offer you. Ethan runs his hands through his greasy hair. Given this new information I've brought to light, it seems like you're in need of protection. Wait for his pitch, definitely. I, meanwhile, am in need of assistance in kind. It turns out I upset some people at the compressor the last time we were there. The owners. They say they'll space me unless I work off the debt. Seems that they're that kind of businessmen. He grimaces. I would pay them, but... He shrugs and turns out his jacket pockets. In a mime of poverty, he looks pitiful. Even more so for his clownish acting. Yeah, then work it off. You should be glad, the anger rising in him now, that I came here and told you this. You think anyone is looking out for you? You are a contract, a name on a list. He kicks the wall. Ethan rubs his temples. I'm sorry, he hisses. I'm sorry for being a shit and trying to kill you and whacking that thick skull of yours. He sighs. You think I want to go up against this guy, but us? He jabs a finger between the two of you. We don't have a choice. So you keep me from getting killed, and I'll do the same for you. We can help each other. A straight 50-50 deal. I'm not asking for a favor. Fine. Ethan smiles. He looks like shit warmed up. Yeah, he's pretty toxic. He pauses, just think about Maywick. Think about that cold-eyed S&R ship on his way here from the core systems. He smiles. That should give you the motivation you need. Ethan swaggers off down the corridor, throwing his jacket over his shoulder. Can't wait to be working with you, he shouts. So we're starving. There is some risk to working on this ship again. It's far more dangerous to be working on a still, which could just plain blow up. 50-50. We save the crop with 4. Save the crop with 1. Now we need 3. We get success again. Or at least neutral. 1 more to save the crop. Can we get extra lucky here? Or are we going to have a chance of negative? It becomes a 4. And we're starving, so I think we call that for the day. And we go make some noodles to eat something. We may even still have some... Yeah, we may even have some health left for 3 days tomorrow. Well, my guess is we're going to be starving again tomorrow, and we will continue fading. Maywick is on their way. You'll need to leave the station, get protection, or disable your tracker before they arrive. You'll also have to survive long enough for that to matter. So we're still starving. We are not at 3, we're at 2. So 1 for eating, 1 for working on the ship. This will become a 6 and potentially finish the ship contract. This is the only chance we've got enough money for stabilizer also. That's it. Save the crop. You and Bliss are floating in the bay's airlock, waiting for it to cycle. You pick a few leaves from your clothes as you wait. They float around the chamber as if carried by a lazy wind. Yeah, it is clean work. Bliss bows a little. Thank you, Sleeper. You didn't do so bad yourself. She checks her tool belt. Seems like we're getting into a good rhythm. The now familiar sequence of clunks and rattles sound out, and then the door hisses open. The moment it does, you know something has once again gone wrong. What's all this? Bliss asks a confused-looking Moritz. Beside him are a set of crates anchored to the bay floor. He's clearly just brought them in through the bay's freight lock. Moritz looks nervously between the two of you before answering. It's payment. He runs a hand along the crate. Sycamore Seed crew just brought them over. He stops, but seeing the look on Bliss's face adds, they were very thankful. I bet they were, she clenches her fist. What the hell is inside? Moritz leans over and struggles with the catches on the side of the top crate. As he does, Bliss turns to you. Don't say it. Bliss stares into space. Don't you dare say it. Don't. She gives you a hard look. This isn't my fault. Moritz finally gets the catches free and the lid floats off, drifting up into the bay. As it does, a small brown lump floats up with it. Moritz reaches out and catches it as it passes him. Is that a mushroom? A damn mushroom? Bliss finishes. Not just mushrooms. He holds out a clump of tightly packed leaves. Produce. Bliss starts laughing. Goddamn Haifa commune should have known they didn't have a chit to rub between them. She knocks a small brown mushroom across the bay. I actually know 2 different businesses that would love all of this. Stop, Bliss. Moritz grabs her hand. These are good, fresh. We can sell them. To who, Moritz? Are we renting a grocer now? We need cryo, otherwise this whole bay will be shut down. We can't pay for parts with leafy greens. She waggles them in Moritz's face. I can use them. Bliss raises an eyebrow. What, 4 whole crates? Even you can't be that hungry. You can take a few, but the rest will sell. She smiles to herself, or at least Moritz will sell them, if he's so eager. Moritz closes up the crate and starts moving them. It isn't that bad, Bliss. It's a step in the right direction. He glances at you looking for backup. They'll sell well. Bliss sighs. Looks like I went into business with a couple of wannabe farmers. She laughs. Prove me wrong then. Show me this is a windfall. She kicks away toward the new patched-together terminal. Until then, I'll be working on how to keep this place open. Moritz mouths a thank you and goes back to moving the crates. You'd better be on your way too. So I now have 3 Girol caps, which I can use for selling, or I can use for one of my drives. There it is, emphasis Sol. And here, Griol fricassee. Am I wrong? Trying to drag that. Start action. No actions available. Let's look again. He doesn't like to rush these things. He's apparently going to make some kind of a meal. So, in order to eat and do something, I'm once again going to the noodle manufacturing. Got us a little bit of cryo and a little bit of food. Oh, it's a countdown for Maywick, yeah. Okay, so, nothing else to do but go another day. This game is very much feeling like a grind, the way that you don't really get to be full or restored to full. Yeah, starving, 2 actions. So the ship's gonna be done right now. We're waiting for a new contract. So the next best thing to do is probably, what is this? We can buy fragments of ship mines? Okay, that's not bad to know. I don't know how many it takes to make a mine, but it's probably a good thing to do. Let's work on the kitchen a little more. Let's build this still. Risky. Let's get some food, I guess. Maybe a better cash or energy reward. 2 energy, 5 cryo is a neutral outcome. Okay. Let's end the cycle again. We are still declining. So we have 2 actions today. I don't think we're really helping anybody with one of these. And since we luckily have a second one, we might get enough energy if we're lucky. Which we really didn't. That's a negative outcome. So that's just another day passing. Is like if you have a mod that stops the body from degrading, or if you just have a lot of cryo to make use of. Let's build the still a little bit more. I have to admit, I was surprised I actually managed to survive past helping them get a space on that ship, or at least get a ticket, a chance at the lottery. Emphis is preparing the Girol caps. He's had to heavily adapt this recipe, he says, but the smell is already incredible. It emanates from a strange purplish white bulb you've never seen before, and he's slicing it finely. He brushes and slices the mushrooms and then places them in the wok with the sliced bulb and oil. They caramelize there in that well-worn crucible. He adds liquids, transparent and opaque, and then turns down the heat. A sprinkle of leaves is the final touch. We have a moment, Sleeper. Do you have a story? Something in the scent of the food gives you a feeling of nostalgia, something distant and melancholic. It seems like the story should match that feeling somehow, and maybe you will get a better feel telling it. You start by explaining that when you're emulated from a person, many of your memories are left behind. Perhaps it's an intentional part of the process, a way of keeping the sleepers ignorant and malleable, or perhaps it's a side effect of the imperfect emulation. You admit you don't really know. What you do know is that some memories survive, and on occasion they come back to you like shadows passing overhead. You detail one recurring memory, which, despite returning to you with enough regularity you'd think it familiar, it always fades as quickly as it arrives. You struggle to explain the feeling of being whole for a moment that comes with this memory, and then how that wholeness slips away to leave you feeling like you've forgotten something important but just can't bring it to mind. Emphis nods throughout, cooking as he does with deft and skillful movements. You start to trail off when you realize you can't find the words to explain how the memories you do have feel like both yours and someone else's at the same time, and how that always fills you with a certain sadness. The sadness of remaining forever unknown even to yourself. Emphis finishes cooking and meets your eye. I'm sorry, Sleeper, for your troubles. He puts the wok to one side. I appreciate you sharing with me. He smiles. I hope it lightens you a little. He passes you a bowl and heaps the Girols onto it, their yellow color mixing with the pale sauce and whirls and blooms. Eat. The dish is delicious, filling. It warms you as you eat in a way you weren't even sure your body could be warmed. It's a small mercy, you think, that S&ARP left you this pleasure. Many of the features of frames are there to simulate human experience. You know that much. Emulated minds cannot be rewired, so their needs for embodied experience must be met. It's why you breathe even when you do not need air. Without that simulation, the sensation of drowning would be unbearable. Food serves another purpose. Your frame is able to metabolize it to produce energy from the raw material. Vitamins and minerals are excess, of course. Your frame only needs raw power. So much is wasted, and yet when you eat this food and feel that warmth, nothing feels wasted. It all means something to you. As you finish, Emphis takes the bowl, the last of his cleaning. He smiles at you, and neither of you feel the need to say anything more. Instead, you simply exchange nods and walk your separate ways back into the bright market, somehow changed. Well, my energy's full, and that's nice. Three successes is a risk on that ship. Let's look at it. Third time lucky. Bliss is taking another shot at landing a contract. After the run you've had, this seems like the last chance. Yeah, we need another day. I have scrap components. Where'd I get scrap from? Falling apart, maybe? I don't know. Emphasis stall. Get to know Emphas is still not done. We need to bring him Matsutake caps, which we do not have. Over here, the kitchen needs more of that. But yeah, I don't like the idea of messing up their place. Try the self-repair. Does it only get us one? Is there any variability? Seems like no. It's just one. Harden Agent 1. I didn't see that last time. Is there another one of those? If there is, I'm not seeing it. Oh, maybe it only appeared because of the hardened agent. That's possible. Not this one. But this one. Oh, they want 5? Like, I guess we get a better price if we bring them 5 at a time? That's weird. He's like a bulk data guy. I guess. It's another 10. So that's something. So this is longer than I expected to live. Moritz is back. Sleeper, it's time. Big job just came in. Grand finale. You up for it? Yeah, I'm ready. Alright, we're in business. He pushes away from the wall. This has to work, Sleeper. Has to. He looks down. If it doesn't... Yeah, how's Bliss? He frowns. I don't think she's okay, but she isn't hiding that from anyone. Look, Bliss has had a rough time of it. I thought you of all people would understand that. He runs a hand through his hair. Sorry, didn't mean to be. He smiles. Bliss is a good one. She gave me a chance. I owe her. Yeah. He straightens up. I know you have your own things going on, Sleeper. We all do. But the Bay needs someone. Bliss needs someone. Hell, I need someone to help me keep Bliss from spinning out completely. He scratches the side of his head. Otherwise, there's not much I can do. He shakes his head. I'd hate not being able to pay back my debts. I gotta get back. He nods and walks away. I'm out. See you up there. Yeah, definitely gonna have to do that. We've got one action we can take right now. The other one's probably gonna have to be food. A solar yacht. So we untangle the sails. The spurs need resetting and the system rebooting. But if you're careful, you can safely untangle some of the sail while you do this, and it's safe. Patching the solar sails. An exhausting task. Patching solar sails means maintaining a laser focus for long periods of time. And time is something you don't have. The selected launch window for the Starward Vector's maiden voyage is closing. So that, I guess, is 6 cycles, not 6 checks. Rigged and ready, the Starward Vector's experimental sail deployment failed horribly. Now its massive solar sails need to be repaired. Okay. So there's an interface at a -1 and an engineer at a +1. They both make progress. We need to patch. This is dangerous. And we can technically, if this is safe, have a 50-50. Okay, that's actually helpful a little bit. We technically skip food right now, because we started out with extra energy. But this is definitely a case of trying to get things done for as many people as we can before we crash. I started a little bit late, so I'm going just a little bit over here as well for streaming. Let's go one more day. So we've got a 5 here. And a 5 is not going to hit either of those. So up to the ship. I like that you see the model up here as part of the overall station map, along with the moving ships and stuff. That's nice. That's going to become a 6 for patching. So we got 2 of the rigged and readied. I hope this has been an interesting experience for people watching. I will again reiterate, I am 100% prepared to see our operator here die, because I don't see a lot of outcomes otherwise. But we're trying to get things done essentially on behalf of other people now. I'm not working on that apartment. I'm not trying to get perk points to try to get another improvement or anything. I don't really see a lot of point to that, seeing that the perk for self-repair is just not really very useful. So, still dying, still starving, 1 action, and it's a 3. Means we're probably not making any progress on that ship either. I hope you have a good day. I'm switching over to a...